Alright. Anyway, my name is Paul Weiss, and anyway, I wanted to make this little video, and I hope it's helpful. I don't know a whole lot about technology, but it seems like a lot of people are making little YouTube videos about things that are important to them. So I thought, since this particular subject is important to me, I'd make a YouTube video of it. I don't know if anybody will watch it or not. I'm not a famous person, I'm just an ordinary person. I guess the title of this video is why do people hate Kent Hovind and many other people that are like him? Why is there so much hate? I'm 45 years old, and I guess I watch some YouTube videos. I like Kent Hovind and some other. In all these years of watching YouTube videos and social media, I've never left a single negative comment. I've never used cuss words. I've never said anything hateful, and I really wish that people could speak intelligibly and discuss things rationally without having to use language. Even if we disagree with something, it's unfortunate when we have to belittle people for their opinions. It also kind of makes us almost look like our evidence or our viewpoint is not that strong, so in order to kind of build ourselves up, we have to kind of cut down other people. Anyway, getting back on point, why do people hate Kent Hovind? Why do people hate people like that? And I'd like to go over 6 reasons why I believe that people, speaking primarily to professional people, professors, and mainly professors. Why do professors hate Kent Hovind? This is my hypothesis. My hypothesis is that there are a lot, and the word "a lot" is a little bit vague, but I would guess maybe 1 out of every 4, maybe more than that, professors know in their heart that Kent Hovind is right on at least some of the things that he speaks about. I think because they're intelligent, they know that. So why do they hate Kent Hovind? I think one reason is they know that any professor, in any college, any university that I'm aware of, in order to teach in the science department, probably other departments as well, in order to teach there, one has to agree to teach evolution, to believe in evolution, to teach evolution. That's something they have to agree with in their contract. To the best of my knowledge, that's accurate information. So if someone were to, at some point along the years, along the way, while they're teaching, become convinced that Kent Hovind is right, in other words, that young Earth, that macroevolution has some serious flaws. Kent, I believe, he teaches, does believe in microevolution. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but if a professor who teaches at most colleges or universities comes to the conclusion after sober, rational study that Kent Hovind and other people like that the Earth is fairly young, that there is a God, that macroevolution, that there's just not evidence to support it, the professor knows that they will lose their job. Okay, that's the number one reason. If a professor admits that Kent Hovind is right, that there is a God, that the Earth is relatively young, and macroevolution, that there's just not evidence to support it. If the professor doesn't teach those things, he or she knows that he or she will lose their job. Secondly, and this kind of ties into that, not only do they lose their job per se, their monthly salary, they will probably lose their retirement. They'll lose their medical benefits, health care coverage. In short, they'll not be able to provide for their families. The second broad reason why professors, or some professors, would be hesitant to denounce macroevolution, to believe there's a God and so forth, to believe in creation, is that they're going to lose their friends. Let's say the professor is 55 years old. He's been teaching in college, university, maybe high school before that for 30 years. Before that he had friends in college. Before that he had friends in high school. He knows that if he changes directions here, he's going to probably lose all of his friends. He knows that's very possible. Further, if all of his adult life, the professor who, let's just pick a number, is 55 years old, he knows there's also a high probability that family members, maybe wives, children, cousins, whomever, he thinks that he could think, or she could come to the conclusion that they'd be endangering those relationships for a lot of reasons. First of all, they're jumping ship, and then also financial reasons. There's a whole lot of reasons why friends, family, and so forth they might be afraid they lose those relationships. Looking at my little notes here. Another reason why I believe university professors and other individuals would be very hesitant to admit in a young Earth that there's not evidence for macroevolution, that there's much more evidence for creation, is that if they have written any magazine articles, if they've written any books, then they would have to worry about their royalties, wouldn't they? They'd have to think, well, now I'm going to have to pull the plug on those royalties, or no one's going to be reading those articles, no one's going to be buying my books. So that might be a concern for some of those who have gained more, I don't know, prestige or so forth. Also, assuming they even kept their job at the university, they'd instantly lose prestige among their colleagues. They would lose popularity. When somebody becomes a Christian, when somebody in this current age admits in creation, they agree with young Earth, they believe that there is a God, they believe that in creation, they believe that God created the heavens and the earth, and so forth and so on. You're going to lose popularity. That's why Kent is unpopular. And that's why many people are unpopular, just for that one reason. So what it boils down to is, why do people hate Kent Hovind? And not just him, many other people. Why do they hate individuals who believe in creation, believe in God, believe that Jesus is His Son, believe in the sixth-day creation, believe that God created things, there is a God, God created things, there is no such thing as macroevolution, there's some microevolution. Why do they hate that because Kent Hovind and others threaten the world in which they base their entire world around. By speaking the truth on these matters, these professors and so forth have put so much energy into preaching and teaching their doctrines, if as it were, that they're afraid that Kent Hovind and others are going to jerk the rug right out from underneath their feet, and they will be seen as they are. They're going to lose their pride. They're afraid of losing their money. They're afraid of losing ability to earn a living. I'd like to share with you this one Bible verse. This is what Jesus is recorded as saying, according to St. Matthew chapter 16, verse 26. For what shall it profit a man if he gains the whole world, yet loses his soul? For what shall it profit a man if he gains the whole world and loses his soul? History, the Bible, and other sources, but mainly the Bible, just teaches about Christ, about Jesus. And he didn't win the popularity test either. He wasn't popular. He was put to death. The people who were Hebrew people didn't particularly care for him. The Romans didn't care for him. No, that's the reason why he went to the cross. Those who follow Jesus, you ought to know right from the outset you're not going to be popular. But the question is it worth it to be popular? Is it worth it to have your job? Is it worth it to have a popularity? Is it worth it to have all these things that we talked about? Is it worth it if you gain all those things and lose your soul? I just have this. I'm just an ordinary person. I don't have a fancy job. I do have a master's degree from an accredited college and so forth, university. I'm just a regular person. But being a Christian, it boils down to one of the several things. To be a Christian is to admit that Jesus is right. To say, you know what, Jesus, you're right. You are right, and I want to believe in you. And I want to, one of the things that you taught, I want to believe in those things. I want to trust in you. I want you to rescue me from the consequences of my sins. So I put my trust in you. I believe that the main problem is not a lack of evidence for creation. I think it's a spiritual problem that people do not want to believe in Christ. If you believe in Christ, I believe your eyes will be open to the truth that macroevolution has serious problems. I hope this video is helpful. I don't want to come across as a know-it-all or anything like that. I'm doing this video because I hope that it'll be helpful. Thank you.